Okay, welcome back. So now what I want to do is I want to show you how to use some of their templates. Actually, I'm just going to show you how to use one in this opt-in page section, and that is this guy. So this type of page, I'll go ahead and preview it for you. Now this comes with OptimizePress, so you don't have to upload it. This type of opt-in page, for reasons beyond my comprehension, seems to convert ridiculously well. And for those trivia buffs out there, the first person in our world who I ever saw using this was good old Andy Jenkins. And he had his little box here, and then there was like a Viking boat on the other end of the on the background of the page. So here is how we can start messing around with this page. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to click on Use This Template, and I'll call this Andy Style Demo right here, just after our good man AJ. All right. So it'll bring up our little editor here, and that's all well and good. All right. So here is this. It's relatively self-explanatory. First thing we want to do is, of course, we don't really need to have the OptimizePress logo here unless we just love to promote them, which they are awesome, but maybe we won't do that. So I'll click X here, and I'll say OK. And so that's fine. By the way, all these little things look kind of weird, so if you want to see what it looks like without all these boxes, as usual, click on Show or Hide Comments or Controls there, and this is what the web page looks like. So that's all super cool. So we're back in the control mode here. We see all these little boxes, and I want to show you something cool. All right, so they give us this image here as our background, but what if you want a different image? Let me show you how to change it. It's actually very easy. You come over here, and you click on Color Scheme Settings. It's the British way to spell color, I guess, color. And so you click on Page Color Settings. Then you click on Overall Page Color Settings or Overall Page Color Options, and now we can mess around with this image. So the first thing we can do is we can check out some of their images, of which they have like 1 million, not actual number there, but it's kind of hard to figure out which one would be appropriate as a background. So sometimes you can get lucky and just like click on one. So we can say, all right, what's it look like with this large banner? Well, that's not going to be a good background because it's got all that busy stuff. So the name of this image is BG2. So if you type BG into this little thing under Media Library and search, they've actually got 2 backgrounds we can choose from. Well, they've got a lot, but 2 that with actual pictures. So here's the one that currently uses. Here's another one. So I'll click on this. All right. And we're not going to do anything. We're just going to say Insert into Post. All right. And then I'll say Update, and look, it will in a minute. Little Jeopardy for you. There. Okay, so now it changes it, and now here's what that page looks like. See, so now it's got like the coffee and stuff. So it's a slightly different vibe, and that's all cool. But what if you want to find like your own, right? Well, check this out. If you go to Google and you do a search for bg.png, and you go into images here in Google, so use Google Images. Here are a bunch of backgrounds that you potentially can use royalty-free. So I'm not an expert on this, so you want to make sure like you're allowed to do it. Lots of folks assume if it's on Google Images, it's royalty-free. I don't know the technicalities of that, so I'm just really doing this to show you how to change the images more than suggesting where to get them. Okay, so let's say we want to use this Deja Food thing. Actually, I kind of like this one better. Well, I don't know. Let's use this one. All right, so we want to use this grass thing as an image. This is pretty cool. We'll click on View Image here. This is lovely. And we got 2 choices. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control. I'm going to save this image, and I will save it to my desktop. So there we go. And now I can come back over here to OptimizePress, and I can just say, okay, now I want to take this. I'm going to go back to Color Scheme Settings. Click on Page Color Settings. Click on Overall Page Color Options. You realize I'm just clicking buttons, right? We haven't even really done any work. I'll click on Select File, and now here's what I do. All right, so now I just want to go from Computer, and I just want to click on Select Files. And where are we? Google, no, Desktop, there it is. And Open. So now this is uploading this to my site here. And now I'll say full size, insert into post. Okay, it's working its magic there. That's delightful. And when that's all done, I'll click on update, and let's see how it looks. No charge for the music. Come on, interwebs. Any day. There we go. So now, if we click on Show Hide Controls, this is what the page looks like, right? So now we've got this thing with a little bit of grass there. So that's how you can change the images in your background if you want to. All right, now be sure you're allowed to use those images and stuff. So that's important, okay? So how else do we mess around with this? Well, it's the same thing as always, right? So we just click on the little box here, and we'll say, all right, I'll click on this, and what we can do is I'll just say new headline here, new headline, yay, like that. That's all well and good. As you can see, we have some options. I'm not going to mess with any of them because this all actually looks pretty good. We click on Insert, and now it's changed the new headline. We can change this text by doing this. And now, as usual, we configure the opt-in form. And all we do is you click the pen, and you just change your headline here if you want to. So, of course, we're going to want to change this. You click on the pen there, or pencil, the writing implement, and we always change the copy and stuff in the content world here. So there we go. I'll just say here it is. And then in the form HTML, we're not going to mess with this for now, but when it's time to do the integration, you will see your autoresponder service here, and you can just follow the instructions from there. I'll walk you through it. Don't worry about it. But it's not time yet. I'm just helping you get these things built. The integration is very simple, and we'll do that towards the end. All right, so I'll go back over here to content. That's all looking good. We'll scroll down. We'll say insert. And now it will update that. See, it says here it is. And we're all good to go. Okay, so there's one other thing I want to show you. And so if we want to use it as is, we go from draft here to publish and click save and continue. And now we have a page called Andy Style Demo. So if I go to view public link as usual, here's the web page, right? So this is it. But what if I want to move this thing down a little bit, like right towards the middle? Well, we do that with something called spacers. And this is very, very simple. So we're going to get barely technical here, okay? So I'm going to go back to show hide controls so I can see my controls. Here we go. All right. And so now right here, I am going to, actually, you know what? Let me show you something. See this thing? If you don't want this little white part here, we can actually remove it. So let me show you how to remove it. Right here, I am just going to get rid of this entire row that has this element in it. So I can just hit X, and I'll say OK. And then now you'll notice it's gone, right? So where we add an element to mess around, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to need something to go above all of this, and that's called a row. That's where all this stuff is. So I'm just going to click on Add New Row right here. And it's going to say, what do you want to stick in there? I'm going to say, I just want to stick a column. So that just means that whatever I'm sticking in there is in here. I'll show you the difference. Notice this is 2 columns in here. So all this stuff within this is a row. It's 2 columns. This stuff is in 1 column, and then if we wanted to put something in the other column, we could. So I just want to put a 1-column row above this. That's all we're doing. So I'll click on Add New Row. I click on 1 column. No problem. So we have literally just clicked buttons. That's all we're doing. I click Insert into Page. Okay. And so we haven't really changed anything. We got to stick something in here now. And so what we're going to stick in here is a vertical spacer. So I'll click on Add Element. Bravely. And you have all kinds of stuff we can stick in there, right? But all we want to do is just move this thing down a little bit. So I'm just going to type in vertical, V-E-R-T. We'll type in vertical spacing. And how high do we want it? Well, let's just say we want to move this thing down 50 pixels. So I'll say, OK, insert. And so now you just see where it says the word spacer. Now look, that will, when we publish it, it won't show. But for now, I'll click on Show Hide Controls. So we've moved it down a little bit. I want to save it. And let's just look at the public link now. All right, so I'll just click on this. I'll hit refresh. And we'll notice this is gone. And now it's just moved down a little bit, but not much. So I'm going to make this spacer a little bigger. So I'm just going to come over here. I'll click it again. I'll say, all right, let's make it 500 pixels. I'll click on Insert. Now it's moved it down a pretty good bit. Now that might actually be okay. All right, so let me click on Save and Continue here. I'll come back to my real version. I'll hit refresh. And now we've moved it a little bit. So that might be down a little bit too low. So maybe I'll say, you know what, man? Let's just make this guy 450 pixels, right? So I'll just say 450. All right, and so this is how you do it. That's how you mess around and change the vertical alignment of this thing that goes in the middle here. And it's pretty cool. So I'll just click on Save and Continue, and we're good to go, right? So this type of page, man, I don't know why, but dang, I've split tested these things before, and they convert like crazy. I guess it's because it's so simple. I really have no idea. I really don't care. If it works, it works. I don't care why it works. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. You know what I mean? As long as it makes people happy, it's not hurting anybody, I'm fine. And this is a great type of page. You see, we click on download the guide, and here we have our opt-in box. So this is super simple. So that's just how to change this cool template within OptimizePress. If you even want to change the background image, if you even want to move things around, that's how you do it. So I've shown you all the opt-in forms, or some of them. You get the idea of how to create opt-in forms for sure here with an OptimizePress. So I'm going to end the opt-in form section now, the opt-in page section, and I'll move on to showing you other types of pages that we use. Remember, we've only got 3 really that we build with OptimizePress. So I'll show you the next type of page here. And of course, you don't have to build all of these pages. You just choose one style and run with it. You don't have to build all of these if you don't want to. So please don't feel like you need to, all right? So thanks for sticking this out with me. I know it's techie, but it ain't so bad. Not much to it. We have made us a bunch of opt-in pages, and our entire video collection in this segment here has been maybe like 45 minutes or something, and a lot of it's me yapping. So I'll stop that yapping, and I'll see you in the next little segment here where we build the other types of pages, all right? Okay, I'll see you in a minute.